Hello everyone, we are going to be starting a new stream of King of the Castle. This is a viewer interactivity game where I take on the role of a king, and the viewers attempt to undermine the kingdom. So you know, things will go absolutely wonderfully, I'm sure. Just gonna let people start to filter in. Gotta get my announcements out. So there should be a, for those watching on Twitch right now, there should be a an option on the right side of the stream window to install the Twitch plugin. And that would allow you to be able to see your own wealth and everything like that, as well as your current faction's goals. I'll let people get that installed. And once we get into the game, it is !join, and either he, she, or they, to depending on your gender, and of course you can just do a join, and I think it chooses randomly or chooses they. Howdy, Binary. Not got the game, but you're sure I'll not be overrun by peasants? Yeah, I'm sure I won't. So, people who own the game just get to customize their character. Anyone can join. It's just that the people who have the game get to customize their character, and they'll show up more often in events. Luckily, the game is pretty cheap. I think that I would have to start a new dynasty for if people get it after the start, but it's fine for now. Go ahead and get my announcements done. And howdy, Isoven, how's it going? And Lord Smappy subscribed with Prime. Thank you very, very much. So let's go ahead and start a new dynasty. I'll give time to show up. And of course, we've got... I've already customized the appearance. And we will be going with Elmandretta and the Avatar Dynasty. And she, her. Queen Elmandretta of the Avatar Dynasty. Alright, we'll go ahead and play on Twitch. Okay, so our Twitch extension shows players their region, wealth, scheme, and more. Install it by going to that. It should also show up kotc.app/Twitch extension, but it should also be available there. So we can choose our 3 regions. We'll choose Counts of the East, Patricians of the Coast, and let me roll a d6 to see whether the Barons of the March, the Chiefs of the North, or the Grandees of the South show up. And howdy, Dracophile and Mad Martin, how's it going? Do we have a book now? Oh, of course we have a book. Alright, so that'll be Chiefs of the North. Alright, choose Begin. So, join the game. Your nobles may now join via Twitch chat with !join, followed by a pronoun. Join she. Players can join mid-game, and their wealth and region are saved in continued games. So go ahead and type join. Players who own the game can type join specific region to get in as a specific, for the specific region. We got some of you guys in here already. And so for those who don't have the game, it will generate a random portrait for you. Lord Smappy going for the spiffiest of hats. There we go. and it'll try to balance out the nobles. So go ahead and get joined in. You can vote on things. You have an epic beard. Indeed you do. Indeed you do. Can't see what's going on the top of your head, unfortunately. Nice glasses there for Lord Smappy. There's Zerfall joining in. Also going for the spiffy hat. Yeah, it's just he. You don't have to do the full thing. Try it again and see if it fixes it. Doesn't look like it does. Yes, the patricians of the coast do tend to wear masks. Baneri has come in. No epic beard. So we'll give it a few more minutes for more people to come in. And of course, anyone can join during the game as well. So this is not a one-time thing. Yeah, I mean, we'll eventually be restarting the with a new dynasty anyway, so. Yes, masks. We'll give it another couple minutes before we actually start. When you hear masks, you just think of Persona 5. And it will remember where you are, so you can, it'll keep your money as we go, even across multiple streams. So I think everyone is starting with 1,000 right now. Yeah. No hats up in the north. You guys don't believe in hats. Boneri, you are in. You are right up here. Chiefs of the North. Chief Bonari. I'm probably going to need to change the position of the window since I haven't actually been in the game yet. And others without hats. They must be Finnish up north. Well, I mean, if we can do it properly, then they will get finished. But those who join in do get to vote on things, so you'll be able to try and ruin my kingdom. The plugin covers the top left, but you can close it with the little icon. Yeah, there will be an icon that you can't really get rid of, but you can shrink it or expand it. Already declaring war on the north? Oh yeah, oh yeah. No, I'm declaring war on all ya. I don't trust you guys. Okay, let's go ahead and begin game. It's a lot more fun with more people in it as well. So those of you who have not joined, I'm seeing 19 viewers. Go ahead and get in. Alright, King of the Castle Primer. Monarch, winning, the path to victory. Acquire an heir, then complete your ambition to win. Your first reign will likely end in disaster. Heavy is a head that wears the crown. Monarch schemes. Keep an eye on the region's schemes. If they pass all their stages, they'll win the game. Monarch Defiance. Be careful of the region's Defiance stat. If it gets too high, the regions may rebel against you. Nobles, winning. To win, pass all 3 stages of your scheme. Each stage requires you to get stats to certain levels, which are affected in votes. Nobles, voting. How you vote is up to you, for your region's scheme, to stop other schemes, or for the good of the kingdom. And Nobles, rebellions. If your Defiance stat is high enough, you can rebel. This pauses your scheme and is risky, especially if you have low military. Howdy, Farron. Events. Each season you'll get 3 events to play. Click on one to get started. Alright, so we've got Council Introduction, Coronation, and The Path to Victory. We do not have any regions yet. We've got the Frozen Wastes up to the north, and we've got the Ashmedian Empire to the south, as well as Tavalin. Over here in the west, the Isle of Sol, Kirth, Danaea, Valamir, and Atesh, and we don't have anything to the east. Howdy, not a rogue AI. Alright. So we can still check the noble list. So anyone who has come in, just get the plugin installed, and you can join in. So we currently have an Authority 5, Stability 5, Treasury of 3,000. The Chiefs have a Trade of 3, Farming of 3, Military of 7, Faith of 0, and Defiance of 1. The Accounts have a Trade of 4, Farming of 7, Military of 5, Faith of 4, and Defiance of 1. Patricians have Trade of 7, Farming of 4, Military of 3, Faith of 5, and Defiance of 1. And I'm thinking I might move the chat window down under here. So we'll see how that goes. But we'll see how it is once we get the council introduction. The Monarch. This is your Monarch, the streamer's character. They'll appear in most stories, but not all. Kingdom stats. These are the kingdom stats. If any of them get to 0 at the start of a season, the game will end. Region stats. These are the region stats. Stats determine which events are generated. Defiance. If Defiance is higher than both Authority and Stability, a region can trigger a rebellion. This will pause their scheme and is risky if Military is low. Noble list. You can scroll through the full list of nobles and their wealth here. Now that you... Oh my god, right, this is the Chancellor. Now that you're the Queen, your first duty is to meet with the Council of Nobles. Your nobles hail from all across the kingdom, the wintry north, the desolate east, and of course the wealthy coast. So we can introduce ourselves to the Chiefs of the North, the Counts of the East, and the Patricians of the Coast. Go ahead and start off by introducing ourselves to the Chiefs of the North. And yeah, actually, let me go ahead and get that chat box down there. And I need to resize that. I think that is going to be better so it doesn't cover up anyone's faces. Height, let's go with 250. Alright, still a little bit high. How about 200? There we go. That's good. Alright, I don't think we'll need to make any more changes. Alright, well, let's introduce ourselves to the Chiefs of the North. Chief Boneri is up first. Good luck in the days ahead, Your Greatness. You'll need it. Dealing with us lot. Yeah, tell me about it. I got my eyes on you, Northerners. They call the East desolate, and yet they have the best farming. I know. Let's introduce ourselves to the Counts of the East. Premium Nobles. This is a player who has bought King of the Castle. They can set their customizations, get access to special outfits, and appear more often in storylines. Countess Lord Smappy. An honor to finally make your acquaintance, Your Majesty. May you escape the doom that befell your predecessor. You have 3 horns. Well, you know. You guys can be horny up there, it's fine. And finally, we'll introduce ourselves to the Patricians of the Coast. Isavan. A pleasure, Your August Majesty. I hope to see our kingdom prosper and grow wealthy under your reign. And with that, the introductions are done. The council hall immediately fills with raised voices as the nobles argue with each other and demand your favor. You sigh and sit back. Is this what the council is like? No wonder your father told you to avoid the throne at all costs. Yeah, I really should have left it for Lord British. Alright, let's get coronated. Your Majesty, I've scheduled your coronation to take place in a week's time. Shouldn't I be giving the orders now? Why the hurry? Yeah, shouldn't I be giving the orders now? Of course, Your Majesty, but to delay any longer would make the nobles restless. And when nobles get restless, they take their daggers and look for the nearest back. Well, then the nearest back is in their own lands. Very well, what must I do? We wouldn't want that, I suppose. They wouldn't dare! Very well, what must I do? As is tradition, the council will decide what happens at your coronation. What? But it's my coronation! Restless nobles are always a problem. Indeed. This isn't an absolute monarchy, Your Majesty. Everything has to be run past a council vote. Even this. Shall we call the nobles in? Choices and stats. Certain choices will change stats. Some choices that do so will indicate this change here. Not all choices that change stats have these indicators, and they do not show the region affected. Voting. These are the upcoming choices your nobles will vote on. Each of these may change stats in some way. Laws of the land. The monarch can change how a vote is run with a law. You may use one law per vote. Try using your veto on one of the options you dislike. When the vote opens, nobles vote using the command !vote followed by the choice letter, i.e., vote A. The monarch may close a vote at any time after all nobles have voted or the timer hits 0. Alright, so we can host a lavish parade with jugglers and fountains of wine. That will cost me 1,000 monies from my treasury, but it will increase stability. Proceed with a religious ceremony that honors the 9th god. That will increase faith in one or all regions. Throw the queen into the river. That will increase stability but decrease authority. And outdated traditions. There's no need for a coronation at all. And that will decrease the authority. So I can veto, and I have the monarch's vote. The monarch marks their preferred voting option, and this gets 1 extra vote. Well, I'm going to veto the lavish parade with jugglers and fountains of wine. Sorry, guys. Alright, so I'm going to start the vote. You guys get your votes in with !vote and your choice. You can't vote for A. Your wine, I know. There's a tie right now. Zerfall needs to get your vote in. I don't think you're in the game, Farron. Yeah, you're not in not a noble yet. Oh, there it goes. Let's continue. Voting has closed. 3 nobles voted for throw the queen into the river. You guys are terrible. So mean. Stat changes. This changes which stat has been changed and by how much. Crowning achievement. You attended your coronation. Alright, so stability is now civil and authority is now dubious. Yay. It is decided the queen will be thrown in the river. So, Farron, you need to do !join and then your pronoun. He, she, or they. I think you need to do a rejoin to see your stats. Now, you're in. If it's not showing your stats, you might need to install the plugin. What kind of coronation is that? Let me get changed out of my nice robes. The nobles pick you up and carry you out to the Treadwater River, hurling you into the shallow water with a cheer. When you climb back up the banks, soaking wet, the Chancellor steps forward and places the crown upon your head. Is it your imagination or some of the nobles' stifling giggles? Huzzah! Alright, Farron is now in as a chief. Has a fancy hat. Has a fancy hat. You're giggling out loud. Got my eyes on you. Alright, the path to victory. And Cav has joined. Howdy. And Kikoskia, thank you very much for that raid. Thought that might get you to raid. Let me get you a shout out there. You guys missed me getting tossed in the river, but, you know, everyone chose that one anyway. So, the path to victory. So, for those coming in from Kikoskia's stream, did Patricians win? Because that's the important thing. The reign of the COD Emperor was glorious. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Heir and ambition. The monarch must acquire an heir and complete their ambition to win the game. A spouse is useful, but not necessary. It's an interesting comment there. Winning the game. Complete your ambition before a scheme or rebellion usurps you, or before you lose all authority, treasury, stability. Your Majesty, the first few years of your reign are the most difficult. You're new and unproven. The nobles of the council will scheme against you, hoping to kick you off the throne and put their own puppet claimant in your place. Oh no! Those fools couldn't scheme their way out of a paper bag. How can I stop them? Yeah, we're up to 17 nobles now. I don't know. I think they could scheme their way out of a paper bag. How can I stop them? To defeat their schemes, you must secure an heir, and prove that you are worthy of the crown by completing an ambition. My question is this. When you die, how do you hope the kingdom will remember you? Well, not all wet. Look, we're not going for Atelier Riza 2's wet look here. As a conqueror, goal military. As a peacekeeper, goal stability. As the greatest queen who ever lived, goal authority. As the mother of the nation, goal farming. As the architect of a new golden age, trade. As a saint, faith. Alright, so right now we have okay trade and farming. Actually, military is slightly better. Faith is terrible. I will be remembered as a tyrant you overthrew. I don't know. I don't like the sound of that. I don't like the sound of that. Let's go for trade. Trade is always good. As the architect of a new golden age. So this Elmandretta is not the Avatar? No, it's Elmandretta of the Avatar Dynasty. I don't know if there's a way that I can check that. It is Elmandretta the Avatar. She gets tossed into so many different situations. She's been a future space sniper, you know. Yes, the monarch did take an involuntary dip in the river. She still blames Lord British for that, too. Somehow. I think we'll go for a new golden age. A lofty goal indeed. I suggest over the next few years you focus on improving the kingdom's overall trade as much as possible. Once you have an heir, I will return to discuss how your ambition is progressing. Good luck, Your Majesty. Lord British deserves the blame? He does. He does. He even changed Elmandretta's gender once without her permission. It's very rude. Very rude. End season. Now that you've played all events, advance the game by clicking End Season. Alright, let's go ahead and end the season. Each region will now vote for one of 3 randomly selected schemes. Scheme stages. Schemes are made up of 3 stages with specific stat requirements. Passing all 3 scheme stages places the region's claimant on the throne, winning the game. Vladina of the Zerfall dynasty, charismatic Eastern orator, leans delicately on a podium, sighing. That's a nice veil there. You must go and sort out your VOD. All right, Kiko, thank you very much for that raid, and good luck on your next run as well. May the COD Emperor bless my rule. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Have a good rest of your night. My fellow counts, in ancient times, the East was its own proud kingdom. We can bring back those days of glory, but not while the false Queen Elmendreda wears the crown. I knew you were a ringer, Zerfall. Terrible. Plotting against me. Plotting against me. You're gonna need it. Alright, so this is just for the counts. You can start choosing Doppelganger, Lower Own Defiance, Uprising, Raise Treasury, or Ascension, Lower Own Faith. So it's vote A, B, or C. Exclamation mark, vote A, B, or C. Go ahead and pull open the noble list. Lord Smappy, Zerfall, Faramir, Kid of Burden, Voronel, and Throaka. Alright. I'll give you guys a couple extra seconds while I take a gander at all of our people. Actually, that was just a member of Zerfall's dynasty, not actually Zerfall. I should match your team. Perfect. All right. Yeah, it's evenly divided. Let's see what happens. Voting has closed. Apparently, it auto-chooses one of them. Went for C. Lower Own Faith. The Counts plan to induct the Queen into their secret cult and offer her immortality in exchange for the throne. First, they must reduce the power of the Eastern Church. Elmendreda already has immortality. Game owners are all Counts. There's definitely a preference there for the Counts. To advance their scheme, the Counts must lower their faith to 4 or less in 3 seasons. So they have 4 or less. Rhoda of the 1-4 family, legendary coastal prodigy, scribbles with a well-used quill on a hardwood desk, muttering in frustration. Fellow patricians of the coast, my claim to the throne is far more legitimate than that of Queen Elmendreda. After all, she just appeared one day, sent here by something called a moongate. Something must be done. Alright, what scheme for the patricians? Sorcery, raise authority. Subterfuge, lower stability. Or intimidation, raise stability. So go ahead and vote patricians. I'll pull open the patrician list. There's actually an odd number of you, so we're not going to get a split like that. Although most of you are going for intimidation, so there we go. Alright. Voting has closed. Intimidation, raise stability. Fitting that you're always a patrician, though, since you're an accountant. See, I'm just a fan of green. I like being a patrician because I like green. The patricians plan to hold the queen hostage in her own palace. First, they must lull the spymaster into a false sense of security. To advance their scheme, the patricians must raise stability to 5 or more in 4 seasons. And our stability is already 6, so that's actually kind of easy. Tana of the Mad Martin 8 clan, eccentric northern godspeaker, stands precariously on a longhouse crossbeam, droning as if in a trance. Go ahead and pull back here so you guys can see the numbers. Chiefs of the North, we all know I should be on the throne, not this imposter, Queen Elmendreda. How do we make that happen? Alright, Prophecy, raise authority. Ragnarok, raise own military. And Hornblower, lower all faith. So, Northerners, what do you want? There are 6 of you. No, I refuse. Alright, there is one who has not voted. You want to get a vote in there. Otherwise, I will advance it. And advanced. Alright, voting has closed. So, Ragnarok, raise own military. The chiefs plan to make an alliance with the ice giants to take over the kingdom. First, they must not be weak, or the giants won't take their proposal seriously. Why do the chiefs always choose the Ragnarok? Because Odin commands it? To advance their scheme, the chiefs must raise their military to 5 or more in 4 seasons. Yeah. It's already there. Claimants. Here you can review the region's schemes and their claimants. When you have an heir, they will appear on the right of this page. Successor votes. If your reign ends abruptly, nobles will vote for the next monarch. This vote is between the 2 regions with the highest combined stats and your heir, if you have one. Your Majesty, these upstarts are saying they have a right to your throne. No doubt the nobles are already scheming to crown their region's preferred claimant. Alright, so you guys are already at rank 1 in everything. Well, adopt a law. Here you can adopt a new law that alters how voting is run. You'll be able to adopt more once a year at the end of winter. You can only adopt one new law at a time, and have a maximum of 3 laws in use. Alright, so, we have veto and monarch's vote. We can get monarch's iron choice. The monarch can mark their preferred voting option. If chosen, they gain +1 authority. Stop the count. The timer is set to 15 seconds, and the vote will automatically close once the timer is over. And a royal gamble. +600 treasury if the nobles vote for the selected option. If the nobles vote otherwise, a -200 treasury. Right now, I will take Monarch's Iron Choice. Scheming? You? Perish the thought. No, you guys would never scheme. Oh. The Honor Guard, an invitation, and an infestation of crawlers. It seems bad. Let's go choose our Honor Guard first. Now that you are the queen, you need personal protection. Why, I could plunge my sword into your heart right now, could I not? I suppose so. Please don't hurt me. I'd like to see you try. I'm so tempted. You know what? Is it your imagination, or does your marshal stifle a wry chuckle? In any case, she quickly hides it. You've noticed the north is really more the west as well? I don't know if the map is like randomly generated or not, or if there's just different maps based on your 3 choices. You need an honor guard to keep you safe from such dangers, Your Majesty. Unfortunately, this is a political decision. But what about the Palace Watch? Hoorah! Don't make me laugh, Your Majesty. These tin soldiers can keep out the riffraff, but do you expect them to stand up to a warlock or a child of the Viper? Or me, for that matter? Oh. Nothing will go wrong with the Praetorian Guard, yeah! You think they're randomly assembled from preset pieces? That probably makes sense. Honor Guard? What's that? Ever since King Harald the Great, the royalty have enjoyed the protection of an elite honor guard, selected from one of the regions in the kingdom. They will accompany you at all times, test your food for poison, sleep outside your bedroom. Make sure you like their faces, Your Majesty, because you'll be seeing them a lot. What are my options? Each region offers a selection of elite guards, the chiefs with their most famous warrior heroes, the counts with knights of the Order of the Drowned Rose, and the patricians offer their greatest gladiators, champions of the arena. Varangian Guard is a long-honored tradition, yep. Think carefully, Your Majesty. These guards' loyalties will be divided between you and their region. Of course, you could just hire foreign mercenaries. They'd be loyal to
to coin above all.
Alright, well, tell me about the Northern Warriors. Am I not entertained? Oh, I am so entertained. Just name my castle moat to the Rubicon. Surely no one would dare cross it under arms. Yeah. Northern Warriors.
Bearded oafs with axes and no manners. They'll get drunk and cause trouble in the palace.
Oh, so they're the Varangian Guard. Got it.
No discipline at all, and I can't guarantee they won't run off on some random quest. But they're honorable, and in a fight, unbeatable.
Tell me about the Eastern Knights.
The Order of the Drowned Rose are highly respectable. They'll understand palace etiquette, but it's been years since they fought an actual battle. They mostly write poems these days.
Nice armor, though. Tell me about the Coastal Gladiators. Too busy with your farms. Yeah, clearly. Honorable but undisciplined seems a bit of an oxymoron. They're definitely not vampires. No. Tell me about the Coastal Gladiators.
A gang of low-born crooks who've turned themselves into celebrities through their skill at chopping other people to bits. They're vain and selfish. Their skill in battle is undeniable, but can you trust them?
And what foreign mercenaries do you suggest?
A band of fearsome fighters from the Tatterlands called the Battle-Bitten Brethren. They specialize in bodyguard work, but they're costly, and hiring foreigners will betray a lack of confidence in our kingdom's fighters.
Alright, well, I've made my decision.
I await your verdict with bated breath, Your Majesty.
Alright, so we could choose any of these, and we'll get a reduction in defiance for the one that we choose, and then an increase in defiance for the others. Foreign mercenaries will reduce authority and treasury. If it reduced stability, that would be good. She'll place bags of grain on all the crossroads just in case. Gladiators are also terrible versus snakes. They do they do have some unarmored portions. This is true. What's the difference between a gladiator and a mercenary, really? One fights for the adulation of crowds, and the other fights for money. Who do I trust the most? Who do I trust the most? You know what? Everyone likes seeing oily men and women around the throne room, right? Let's choose the Coastal Gladiators. Alright. Defiance is now aloof for the north and the east, and the coast is now loyal.
I will make the arrangements at once.
The gladiators arrive a few weeks later. The men are bare-chested and the women underdressed, eager to show off their bodies as much as their weaponry. They gather behind your throne and begin oiling themselves up. Alas, you shall have to get drunk at home. And here you were hoping to get drunk in the castle. Nope. Alright, we have an invitation. Chief Ziwo Zerase.
Your Majesty, this year we will be holding the Winterfest in my clan hall. It would be an honor if you could attend.
You're not gonna burn the whole clan hall down, are you? I don't want a great blot.
Winterfest? What's that? 10 days of drinking, eating, fighting, competing, drinking, singing, stamping, drinking, and drinking, Your Majesty.
So drinking, then.
All will take place at the coldest time of the year as the snows bury us in. But you won't need to wrap up warm. That's what the whiskey is for.
No great blots. No great blots. It'd be a waste of a good clan hall. Very sorry, but I must decline. That would increase defiance, but I look forward to it. Sure, let's have a great time.
I can't wait. Winterfeast is a special time of year. You'll see.
I don't know if I trust you guys.
Nah, they wouldn't
actually do anything, right? Alright, an infestation of crawlers. Your Majesty, our mutual friend Count Kid of Burden has discovered a nest of crawlers on a new tract of eastern farmland.
Oh, that's not what I expected tracts of land to be like.
Naturally, we chiefs recommended they fill the tunnels immediately lest they spread to other regions and endanger our crops, but Kid of Burden refused to do so.
Peasants have gone missing, Your Majesty. These crawlers are much more dangerous than they appear.
Well, why haven't you filled them in yet?
Legends speak of crawlers living in great cities beneath the soil, taking the weak to be consumed. We should leave the land to them. They're not to be trifled with. Marshal, tell me more about these crawlers. Horrible cow-sized worms that live under the earth, with tiny clacking legs like centipedes. They're rare but formidable foes. They turn up unpredictably and attack whatever they find before retreating back into the earth.
You're imagining sandworms, but you're sure they're like ettercaps? I don't know, they're like centipedes, she says. Sounds lovely. Hey, well, let's just send them all to Cav's land then, you know? You can have fun with them, Cav.
Nothing that well-organized troops can't handle, I'm sure.
Alright, let's assemble a council. Thank you, Your Greatness. Perhaps Neogi. No, Neogi aren't like centipedes. These would be more like rastipedes. So we can abandon the fields to the crawlers, which will reduce farming, reduce trade, and increase defiance. Fill in the holes and continue farming. Send someone into the tunnels to investigate. Is that like sending someone in to negotiate? I'm gonna just outright veto abandon the fields to the crawlers. No. Howdy, Engine. How's it going? Can't wait for the infestation of the Hopper's giant cave crickets. Well, that's when the flamethrowers come out. Are these worms tasty and crispy? I mean, maybe if you cook them. Let's start the vote. All right, everyone, get your votes in. Do you want to fill in the holes and continue farming, or send someone into the tunnels to investigate? Wow. It's, Matt Martin is all about ignoring the problem, mostly. Everyone else is like, sacrificial victim. We want adventurers in these parts. Yes, bring out the adventurers. Well, that's pretty overwhelming there. All right, voting has closed. Send someone into the tunnels to investigate.
Very well, we will send someone... Who will we send on this most unfortunate mission?
Challenges. Some choices have uncertain outcomes, called challenges. These can either be random or based on a stat. The percentage shows the chance of success. Alright, so we can send soldiers from the east, hire adventurers to explore the tunnels, or this is a serious matter, send for a wizard. So we can decrease farming or trade, we can decrease treasury, or we can have a challenge, 50%. I'm feeling the adventurers, you know? Expendable adventurers. If they don't come back in 6 hours, then we fill in the holes. 4 random misfits of dubious character found in a tavern will solve all our problems. We choose 6. We're operating on gold box technology here. Let's hire some adventurers. Actually, it might be 9, 100 gold each. Game doesn't let you choose the strongest military? Apparently not. Maybe because it's the count, like it's the eastern lands, so it's the counts, I assume. Yeah. So hire adventurers to explore the tunnels. We won't let you down, Your Majesty. This is just the sort of thing we handle. Yeah, you better. I paid good money. Bid them farewell. 60% chance of success. Oh boy. You hear word that the adventurers made it inside the tunnels, at least, but you won't hear from them again until they make it out. If they make it out. But the challenge succeeded. As you wait, more and more peasants go missing down the mysterious tunnels. Farming is now only fruitful in the east, and trade is now struggling in the east. It's just peasants, right? They do have a lot of coast, but yeah, it's a little bit more south. And yes, I approve of the north being like, yeah, you know, this is the north, you know. This is the north. This is a northern lake. It's a northern lake. Don't question it. Don't question it. All right, let's go ahead and end the season. Buildings. Nobles can use their wealth to bid on any buildings in any region, each of which affects a stat. This is done through an auction where only the 2 most funded buildings are chosen. When the auction is open, nobles can fund with the following command: !fund AX, where X is the personal wealth. So fund the building letter, fund A, B, C, D, E, F, and then the amount. I believe everyone has only 1,000 right now, so. When you're ready, hit Start Auction to begin the auction. Alright, so we've got, among the chiefs, a fortress, which will increase military, a stadium, which will decrease military, a deer park, which will decrease farming, an observatory, which will decrease faith, and a cathedral, which will increase faith, and a library, which will increase stability. So, go ahead and fund what you want. Haven't started the auction yet, Lord Smappy. That's okay. So right now, D, the observatory, which isn't actually going to do anything because faith is already 0. Decreasing military is good for... oh, actually, no, that would... Sorry, I was looking at the wrong thing. That would decrease the faith there. So yeah, the observatory to decrease their faith. I was looking at the chiefs. And the military here of the chiefs could go down. This would increase stability, which is already what they want. So, and there's nothing that'll take it down. So get your fundage in. Looks like we're going to be decreasing the military of the chiefs and the faith of the counts. All right, time's up. All right. Oh, just at the last minute, looks like the fortress won. There we go. All right. Scarlet Lunaire getting in the biggest for the fortress, and Faramir getting in the most for the observatory. Wait a second. Isn't that what you want? You want... Oh, you want lower faith. That's right. 4 or lower, that's right. I'm misremembering. Blowing his money on it. Yep. Alright, let's end the season. I'll get used to the things eventually. So we can find a spouse, back from the tunnels, and a plague ship. Well, that sounds fun. Also, why is the plague ship in the middle of the land there? Let's not question it. Alright, find a spouse. In the twisty passages of your castle, you can avoid your advisors, the nobles, even the spymaster. But there's one person you can't avoid. Myself? Your mother. Oh, no. Oh, no. Clearly it came from the Northern Lake, yeah. It's a flying ship. Why haven't you found a spouse yet? It's been almost a year. Mom, how did you get here? Did you follow me through a moon gate? I've been busy. Is it really that urgent? But, Mother, I don't want to get married. I've been busy. You'd better find the time. Don't worry. I'll take the liberty of finding eligible candidates. What is your preference, men, woman? Or do you not mind? I'm not interested in love. Any is fine. Excellent. I'll send out messengers to the most influential noble families in the kingdom. Let's see what they have to offer. You see, there was this huge tidal wave that tossed the ship on the land. Oh, the tiny ship was tossed. I get it. They shouldn't have gone for a 3-hour tour. Alright. Let's see what the adventurers have discovered. Your Majesty, the adventurers that you sent to investigate the crawler tunnels have returned. Yay! They didn't die! crawlers have a vast network of tunnels, Your Highness. And they have some sort of queen, a huge creature that controls them all. We should strike at this queen, destroy her, and deal with this menace once and for all.
No, you must take care, Your Grace. If you enrage the queen, only ruin will follow. Surely there is another way.
Well, I mean, I was looking for a spouse. Send an assassin after the crawler queen. Fill the tunnels with burning oil. Organize a meeting between Queen Elmendretta and the crawler queen. Well, you know, I don't want to lose that much money. All right. You're fine with sacrificing the counts? All right. Do we fill the tunnels with burning oil, or do we organize a meeting between the two queens? I need to keep a hold of my money. I can't give up my cash. Need all of the money. Well, you guys really going for the diplomacy option. That's good. It's going to only end well. Yeah, it's fine. A political marriage between Elmendretta and the Crawler Queen. All right. Looks like we're doing diplomacy. My money won't help me in a crawler's belly? That's true. That is true. But it's still pretty. You cannot be serious. This means putting the queen in great danger. We don't even know if we can communicate with this creature. That's what wizards are for. But the council has spoken. Alright. We'll see what comes of that. And a plague ship. The Royal Navy has stopped a ship at the harbor at Thalassus, Your Majesty. It's a merchant vessel from Danea, and the crew have come down with some kind of plague. The captain refuses to go home, saying his crew need food and medical attention before offloading any cargo. Alright, noble patrician Scooney. That ship is carrying fine silks and rare dyes worth thousands. I don't care what happens to the crew. We need to secure those goods. Well, tell me more about this plague. The infected have high fevers, oozing pustules, uncontrollable vomiting. Sounds like the creeping scourge which bumped off half the kingdom a few centuries ago. Well, let's call a vote. Alright, so I can't veto anything. We can allow the ship to dock and offload its goods, which basically reduces everything. That seems like a bad choice, guys. Quarantine the ship, but take the goods. That will be a 50% chance. Quarantine the ship and toss the goods into the sea, which does decrease the wealth of some people there. It'll also increase defiance and decrease trade. Sink the ship and all aboard, which will also decrease wealth and increase defiance and decrease trade. You know, I can't veto anything, so I'm not going to have a preference here. Let's go ahead and start the vote. What do you guys want to do? Get your votes in. Going for the random, the coin flip. Wow, there are a lot more patricians now. You don't trust the coin? Well, that's what we're going with. We're flipping a coin. Quarantine the ship, but take the goods. Howdy, Solarian. I think you need to join. I haven't seen if you are... Yeah, you need to do exclamation join and then choose your pronoun. And then you can actually vote. Oh, the challenge failed! The dyes and silks are carried into port, much to noble patrician Scooney's satisfaction. The crew are left to wait on the ship. So, noble patrician Scooney's wealth has increased to 1,300. Defiance can't go lower, but the challenge failed. It's a vote. It's a thing about this game. We all vote, but everything is the monarch's fault. No, no, it is not my fault. Rude. Unfortunately, the silks must have been infested with fleas that carried the infection. A week later, your marshal brings dire news. Your Majesty, signs of creeping scourge have been seen in many towns along the coast. We must shut down the roads and quarantine the worst affected areas. Trade is now dynamic, from 7 down to 5. Thousands die. Soldiers die, leaving the armies undermanned. Farmers die, leaving the crops to rot in the fields. Fortunately, the plague is contained mostly to the coast. Stability is now stable. Stability has gone down. And if we get another drop, then they're not their plan will not be advancing. But the coast's military is now pathetic, and their farming is now meager. When the Navy finally board the quarantine ship months later, they find nothing but corpses. Well, hey, as long as it stays in the coast, I'm okay up here in the capital. What is the lobby code? It's exclamation mark join and then your pronoun of choice. You do have to install the plugin though, which should be on the right side of your stream window. Taxation. Here you can set different levels of tax or bribes for each region in your kingdom, potentially punishing some while rewarding others. Balance the needs of your treasury against defiance changes. Remember, if a region's defiance is higher than both authority and stability, they can rebel. All nobles gain wealth here, but one region gains extra wealth with a trade bonus. Regions with higher trade stat are more likely to get a trade bonus. Okay. The chiefs invent a new kind of super strong mead, making 500 wealth. The other nobles gain 200 wealth. Well, way to go, chiefs. McLeod. Alright, so I can do a cruel tax, increase defiance, and you know what, patricians? I need money. I need money. Let's see, I could bribe, but you guys are only 2. I think it's okay. We'll leave you guys at common tax. And here we can see the richest nobles. Baneri is at the top, I think just because of when you got in or something like that. Taxing the already heavily reduced population is surely a popular choice. Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. This means war. We just lost hundreds to the plague. Look, you guys are the ones who brought the plague in. You know? It's not my fault. It's not my fault. Confirm that tax. Alright, defiance is now cordial. Go ahead and end of the season. Eligible options, Winter Feast and Meeting the Crawler Queen. Alright. Let's go ahead and see what our eligible options are. Sharpens the stabbing dagger. It's plastic. Don't worry, I'm not worried. I have found 3 potential matches for you. 1 eligible young candidate from each of the kingdom's 3 regions. Choose wisely. You'll be securing a powerful alliance. Yes, I know. And a partner for life, to have and to hold, don't forget. What if I don't want to marry any of them? That's a decision that can wait until after you've seen them, isn't it? Your mother leads you to the Great Hall, where she's arranged 3 portraits on easels. For now, each is covered by a cloth. Wait, I don't even get to meet them? There's no time for sentiment. You just need a match that befits your station and suits your political needs. Howdy, Anna the Nerd. She whisks away the cloth from the first portrait. This is Torgeir, firstborn son of the Northern Solarian Storm clan. He's your typical northern lad, big, brawny, and honest, in the same way an axe to the face is honest. Oh, I guess you can join. I think you just can't see your stat stuff. Alright.
Even among the Northerners, he's made something of a name for himself as a fearsome warrior. Had a bit of controversy a while back when his clan hall burned down. He was to blame somehow.
Yeah. See, I know what you guys are planning up there. Great blots.
I can see the appeal, I suppose. This is Sylvia, the eldest daughter of the Eastern Nosustalk dynasty. Apparently they had a hell of a time getting her to smile for this portrait. Spends most of her time indoors, poring over musty tomes. Half the East are in love with her, apparently, and the other half hate her.
She's an intriguing candidate. Are we sure they're not from the Zerfall clan? I mean, maybe there was some marriages early on, you know? That could be. She's an intriguing candidate.
And finally from the coast we have Petronella, the wealthy heiress to Lord Patrician Cav 2K's estate. I mean, just look at her. She's gorgeous, and apparently she's got a silver tongue too.
I do like the idea of a silver tongue.
Her interests are typical of the coast. Money, 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 and making more of it. Unfortunately, she's quite bad at it. All of her business deals seem to fall through.
It could be worse. It could be a lot better. Look at her. She's gorgeous in a mask. I mean, it's a very nice mask.
What do you think? Of course, by picking a candidate, you'll anger the other regions, but you'll gain a lifelong alliance.
All right. So, right now, that's just going to increase defiance. I can afford to increase the defiance of the patricians. I've made my decision. Sylvia of the East, I think. Make sure she isn't sick too.
Excellent. I'll make the arrangements.
Alright, so Defiance is now loyal from the east, Defiance is now grumbling in the north, and Defiance is now aloof in the coast. Alright. Well, now that we've got those arrangements going on, I can count on you. Oh! Terrible. Let's go to Winterfeast. It looks like it's in the mountains. After weeks of leading your baggage train along the perilous mountain roads, I mean, we're going down in that direction anyway to meet with the Crawler Queen, you know, so. You finally arrive at the snow-swept clan hall of Chief Zero Zarase. The hall is crammed with all the chiefs of the north, sitting cheek to cheek along tables groaning under the weight of food and ale.
Welcome, your majesty, to my humble hall. Take a seat, grab a drink.
Which cheeks? Why not both?
It is customary at Winterfest to exchange gifts with the host. What did you bring?
I feel like I was not informed of this. Nothing. I could increase defiance. Some fine silk pajamas. Decrease treasury. A champion warhorse. Decrease treasury and increase Zero Zarase's wealth. An axe with an emerald-encrusted shaft. Defiance will go down. Treasury will go way down, but I can afford that. Zero Zarase's wealth will go up. A casket overflowing with sapphires. Trade would go up. Defiance goes down. Wealth will go up considerably, and treasury will go down a lot. I mean, sapphires are nice and all, but I mean, we're talking about a clan chief from the north. Who wouldn't want an emerald-encrusted shaft up there in the north, right? Need a comfy pair of jammies in this weather? It's true, but also axe. That way she can always pull it out and be like, I want to ask you a question. See, I'm just helping with the puns, you know?
What extraordinary craftsmanship. Useless as a flagon full of seawater, of course, but it certainly looks pretty. I'll make sure all the chiefs know of your generosity.
There we go. Just beware of accidents. Alright, Defiance is now aloof. After that, the feast lasts long into the night. The fires roar, the bards sing songs of the old days. Shouldn't be scalds. And a lake of ale is consumed. Why did someone make a lake full of ale? It seems incredibly wasteful. Just fill up cups. A couple hours in, you are extremely drunk, a little merry, or still stone cold sober. B-O-O-Z-E, booze. Booze makes a party better. The chiefs appreciate how much you're getting into the spirit of things. They roar with laughter at your mumbled jokes. Someone claps you on your shoulder so hard your crown falls into your beer.
Yeah, that can be a clean. I have people for that.
Defiance is now cordial. Completely wasted with your oily muscular guards. As Winterfeast draws on and the snow piles up outside the doors, the mood in the hall turns raucous. Your memory is blotchy, but you distinctly recall getting into a fight, taking part in a contest, leading the entire hall in song. So I'll be hungover for the Worm Queen meeting. I'm sure I will, by the time I get to that, I will be fine. I'm sure. Drunken singing, yeah, that's it's very tempting. Let's see, we're getting a little bit more even here on the nobles. Yeah, let's get singing. After all, it's the eye of the Mako, it's the thrill of the flight. Defiance is now loyal. The chiefs roar alongside you, full-throated as you sing the stirring battle songs of the north long into the night. Like I said, it's the eye of the Mako, it's the thrill of the flight. When you wake the next morning, you find yourself sprawled out in the hall. Zero Zarase is sitting beside you, eating some bacon and eggs.
I want some of that, please. You really got into the swing of things last night, Your Majesty. Mighty impressed I was. Didn't even think you knew the words to some of those songs.
I have a vast library, trust me. Once sat on a bus stop when a drunk had a conversation with his own reflection for 15 minutes. Involving declaring space to be a conspiracy. Oh, that's wonderful.
To be honest, Your Majesty, you may have got too into the swing of things.
Oh dear, what did I do? Break it to me gently. Oh dear, what did I do?
You sang some songs that are very aggressive toward the other regions. The kind of songs that rhyme pillage with village.
That's fine. I mean, I do that with taxes. Word spreads quickly. Accusations of northern favoritism become a thorn in your side. East, look, I'm marrying your candidate. The coast, I understand that. You know, no, it's fair. You bid farewell to the chiefs and begin the long, perilous journey back to the capital. See, guys, you know, I'm very generous. I'm very supportive of all of my wonderful nobility, which is why you should be working towards the betterment of my rule. It will benefit all of you. Except if I decide to tax you to hell, you know. The coast wouldn't be so picked on if they weren't so rich. Gotta spread that money around. Yeah. Exactly. Never mind the fact that it's the chiefs who are the wealthiest ones. Alright, time to meet the Crawler Queen. Never.
Your Majesty, about this meeting. From what I've gathered, the Crawlers rely on their queen to direct and lead them, quite literally from inside their heads. Suppose she cannot be reasoned with.
Well, that's what the oiled guards are for. Set up a trap for her, then. I'm a queen of my word. No tricks. Set up a trap for her, then.
Very well.
A few days later, you find yourself in the fields of the east, face to face with a creature from your nightmares. That is not a creature from my nightmares. If it were a creature from my nightmares, it'd be like a school teacher on a normal day of school. Ugh. Hello? I really love your style. Let's get down to business, shall we? We must defeat the Huns. Thick, viscous slime drips from her mandibles as she sizes me up. You thought it'd be taller? Yeah, a little bit. A little bit. Let's just be no-nonsense. Let's get down to business, shall we? The Crawler Queen clicks and rattles her appendages in a way that could be interpreted as a message of approval. This is going nowhere. Attack. Wow. Help me to understand what we can do. We're sorry for exposing your tunnels. It was an accident. You have to stop abducting our peasants. Let's start with that. The Queen tilts her head to one side, regarding you with beady black eyes. What little noises you make in the face of your trespass. Ours was not the first bombard. You can talk? Wait, are you in my head? The first bombard? What are you talking about? Your digging hatchlings did not grasp the fullness of our being. They sought our destruction, and in so doing found their own. Now you come before us to beg forgiveness or to retread the fraught path. I beg your forgiveness, 25% chance. I've heard enough of this attack. If you're asking me to grovel, you can think again. Well, I beg your forgiveness. 25% chance. You get down on your knees and beg for mercy in the name of your kingdom. Oh boy, authority is now mocked. Well, it's not so good. What pretty song is this? The ape has learned to dance. I was dancing pretty well back at the Winter Feast. The Queen chitters loudly. Is she laughing at you? But you don't have long to consider as a shower of arrows flies overhead. The Spymaster's trap is sprung. See, that's why I got down on my hands and knees. You scurry for cover as your forces destroy the Queen's crawler escort. The enraged Queen scurries towards you, but your honor guard leap into action. They buy you just enough time to get away to the safety of your army, paying for it with their lives. Thank you, my noble coastal gladiators. Your oil will be well remembered. The Eastern force collapses on the crawlers, who fight fiercely to defend their queen. Somehow, in the chaos, she escapes. Military challenge failed. Oh no. Oh no. The plan has failed. Even now, her voice lingers in the back of your head like an impossible itch. Authority is now spineless, and military is now weak in the East. Oh. Oh no. Nothing bad can result from this. No, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Things are going fantastically. Alright, time to end the season. Think that's a fail condition? Yeah, I think so. I think so. Hiding from the church. In a tiny village far to the east, two counts meet in a derelict tavern. No one dares even glance in their direction. I hope someone put a whole mess of manure under there. Count Throica. Another priest left my estate today. He said there was no sense preaching to the truly lost. Countess of Voronel. I've heard the same across the east. We are no longer trapped under the church's thumb. Now we must not falter. If the Queen grows proud, we can offer her the ultimate reward, immortality. For the next stage of their scheme, the Counts must raise authority to 5 or more in 4 seasons. Well, we'll see if that has an opportunity to trigger. I don't know that it will. Alright, so we can get a new law. Swing votes, call for unity, and stop the count. I'm not going to choose stop the count. Call for unity, +1 stability if more than 50% of nobles vote for any one option. And after voting, nobles can change their minds and vote for a different option. I'm going to adopt that. And I will swap out Monarch's Choice. Alright. Let's end the year. Something's wrong. Uh-oh. It begins as a day like any other. You wake up, your servants help you into your royal finery, and you have a delicious breakfast, go for a quick ride on your favorite horse, visit the physician for a checkup. A lovely start to the day, but something's wrong. Something's nagging at the back of your mind. Suddenly, you realize with a pang of anxiety that you haven't attended a meeting of the council in weeks, months. How the time slips by. Summon your chancellor. What seems to be the matter, your majesty? Why aren't you enjoying your customary pre-brunch walk in the royal gardens? Didn't I used to attend council meetings? Oh, don't worry about that, your majesty. The council is ruling the kingdom perfectly well without you. Now, if you could excuse me, I can't chat to you all day. I have important matters to attend to. But I'm the queen. I'm important. Of course you are, your majesty. Of course you are. From that point on, you barely know anything beyond the walls of the palace. When you do attend a council meeting, you can't make yourself heard over the bickering nobles. Nobody cares what you think. You're nothing more than a figurehead. You spend your days cutting ribbons, waving out of windows, and hosting parties, blissfully ignorant of affairs of state. It's not a bad life. No, I refuse to accept this. I don't have to work. No, but I want to work. You know what they say? When you enjoy your job, you don't work a day in your life. I refuse to accept this. You shout at the nobles until you're out of breath, but they lock the doors of the council hall so you can't get in. How did it come to this? Oh. Desperate to claw back your relevancy, you issue your proclamations. First of all, you dissolve the council, making yourself an absolute monarch. Let's see them ignore that. Defiance is now treasonous in all of the regions. Not long afterwards, you awaken to find a man in black standing at the end of your bed. A knife glitters in his hand. That has escalated quickly, yeah. Greetings, your majesty. Who ordered this? It would be easier to provide you with a list of those who didn't order it. All the nobles were in agreement that you need to go. Your spy master, too. Run for the window, wait silently for the inevitable, reach for your hidden dagger. Let's do it! The assassin strikes faster than a viper. The blade sinks between your ribs. Your dagger falls from twitching fingers. Thus always to tyrants. Having left no heir, it's up to the nobles to vote for your successor among their claimants. You only hope they will enjoy a less embarrassing end to their reign. Can't get no respect. You suffered a game over due to losing all authority. Alright, go ahead and vote, A or B. It's gonna depend on what the patricians decide to go for. Oh, it's close. It's close. But it is of Vladena of the East. Alright, let's go ahead and continue. The Counts are victorious. Congratulations, Counts. Queen Elmendreda lost all authority over the nobles of the council. When she tried to claw her power back, she was assassinated. The patricians' attempt to worm their way into the palace was uncovered, and a number of arrests were made. Noble patrician Ada XZB ended their life chained upside down to a dungeon wall. The chiefs' agreement with the ice giants fell apart, and the giants ended up attacking the north instead. Subsequent war kept the chiefs too busy to worry about matters of the throne. The counts leapt into the power vacuum left by Queen Elmendreda's death, and Vladena took the crown with the council's blessing. Alright, game length 1 year, 0 months. No spouse, successor Queen Vladena. Ah, Queen Elmendreda the Hated. Wow. Continue your dynasty. You may now continue a game. Completed games will create new saves where you can continue the story of your dynasty. Dynasty events. Your second game will include dynasty events, which will continue the story of previous events. Returning nobles. Your nobles will return to their previous regions and keep their wealth. You can also export your save games for other players to import and play on the Continue Dynasty screen. We store these on our servers, so there's no need for copy-paste. Alright, well, for those watching on YouTube, that is our first run, which ended fantastically for not me. So I'm going to break the video there for those watching on YouTube. For those watching on Twitch, don't go anywhere, because we'll be continuing momentarily.